All right, guys. The next one that we're going to talk about today is going to be your reasoning paragraph. So the reasons that you believe whatever your stance is going to be. These are from your notes that you've taken. So from the 15 notes that you've taken, you're able to take those and find 2 to 3 reasons within that really supports what you've said. Call those reasons paragraph. What's needed in these? You're going to need one reason for each paragraph that ties in several pieces of evidence. That'll make more sense as I kind of go through this. And it needs to be 5 to 7 sentences long. Of course, you can have more. I'm going to prefer that you don't have less. You try to stay away from true run-on sentences. You'll see a run-on sentence in mine. It's okay if you have one or two of those that are there, but realistically, you need to have 5 to 7 sentences, few run-on sentences in there. All right. So you need to have one reason that ties in several pieces of evidence. Let's look at this. So this right here. We're not really going to pay attention to. That was my introduction from last time. Found over here. I just copied and pasted it over to this side so that you can kind of see what it should look like. So we'll jump into this first reason and let's see if we can find where the reason that ties in several pieces of my evidence is. One of the worst things about zoos is the fact that zoos treat animals like prisoners. Okay. That right there should tell you what my reason is. It's also found up in this area, kind of up there. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that in my light blue just so I have it. I'm not going to highlight anything else in here because that is what I need to do. My evidence kind of follows through that with that. So every piece of information found in this passage, or found in this paragraph, I should say, ties into that reason. So you can't have something there that doesn't make it sound like animals are prisoners. If that is my reasoning, you got to find something else that makes sense. So animals that are kept in zoos are oftentimes kept in small enclosures or even cages where they sleep on concrete floors, don't have enough room to move around, and are surrounded by bars. Okay, that all ties into the fact that they're treated like prisoners. These animals are also unable to interact with other animals that are around them or even interact with the natural environment. Again, very similar to prison. Their environments that they live in are unnatural and don't allow them to get the proper things they need, tying right back into that prison thing. Not only that, but animals in zoos are practically spoon-fed and don't get the thrill of the hunt or the thrill of finding their own food. You can see that that's kind of redundant there. I might figure out a way to edit that a little bit later to make sure it doesn't make or doesn't show any errors. Treating animals like prisoners is horrible and needs to stop. This last sentence right here is kind of a wrapping up sentence. It's kind of like if you think about the last M in yes ma'am strategy. Being able to tie that up just kind of makes it nice and neat so that when you transition to your next paragraph, you don't have to, or it's going to sound kind of well. If you notice, I didn't put one reason. I didn't say the reason that animals or zoos should not be around is because I went through and I made it make sense to me. So I found a way to transition that to make it make sense. I said one of the worst things about zoos. What you could do if you're doing that zoos are good, you can say one of the positive things about zoos is. That way it's not just saying one reason is this, another reason is that. No, you want it to actually flow and sound good. You want to make sure that you wrap it up at the end, so that when you go to write your next paragraph, which is going to be your second reason, it's going to do well. So you need to have 2 reasons here. You need to make sure that you need to have 2 paragraphs that are 2 separate reasons. You need to make sure that you state your reason. You need to make sure your evidence backs up that reason. So do that for the next 2 paragraphs and you will do just fine. All right, let's get started on it.